Dr. Zoltán Kodály, the eminent composer and conductor, during a rare United States appearance, was at the University of California, Santa Barbara, on August 2nd and 3rd, 1966, to preside over a conference of music educators from the Western states. Born in 1882, Dr. Kodály began his music career when he and fellow student Béla Bartók rebelled against the academism of the Deutscher Kulturkampf at the Budapest Conservatory. In 1906, they published 20 Hungarian folk songs, the result of an intensive study of their native Hungarian music. The first American performance of Dr. Kodály's choral work, Missa brevis in tempore belli, was during his tour of the United States in 1946-47, when, on January 26, 1947, he conducted the chancel choir of the National Presbyterian Church, Washington, D.C. Portions of the Missa brevis heard on this program are from the chancel choir's performance on the 4th anniversary of the occasion. Dr. Kodály is interviewed by Dr. Ernö Dániel, professor of music at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and director of the Santa Barbara Symphony.
Dr. Kodály is a very great composer, unquestionably, in the history of contemporary music. How did you become interested? And how did you become involved as a composer in the course of music education in the primary schools as a part of the general education?
Because I detected more and more that we, these so-called highbrow musicians, are quite alone in the world. We have no public. We make music for each other. And so I thought that since music is not a toy for very few selected people, but music is a spiritual food for everybody, so I thought how we could enlarge the public of the serious music, which is called highbrow music, but I think that is only the true music what is called highbrow. So my attention was almost directed to the primary schools, and I detected that nothing happens there which would be able to introduce general people in music understanding. And I thought on the education of ancient Greeks, where music was one of the chief subjects of general education, which lived forth in the Middle Ages or the universities, the septem artes liberales. Music was also an important part of general education, which in modern times disappeared entirely.
Yes.
So I studied more and more what to make, what could we make to improve that, and to make more people accessible to good music.
Actually, when do you begin the education in music for the child?
This question was posed me some 20 years ago in Paris in a UNESCO conference. Then I answered the music education of the child should begin 9 months before his birth.
Well, that's early enough.
But now, a few months ago, was again a conference in Paris. Then I changed my opinion, and today I mean it should be begin 9 months before the birth of the mother.
What material do you feel that is the best for introducing the child to music?
Now we must begin with the material what the child has already in itself. Each child has learned in his family surrounding or kindergarten some little melodies. And what is more important, each child likes to improvise melodies from himself. Sometimes very primitive and very simple melodies, almost repeating short phrases several times and so on. the teacher must grasp this material and to try to develop it slowly in broader forms. But what we can call the mother tongue of a child, it is built from these fragments of music and melodies, what he hears and what he incorporated in himself and partly composed from himself, because each child is composing.
Yes.
Also, this must be ordered, and to start from this and broaden it slowly in bigger forms, and then this very precociously with new material which is conform to it, and so slowly in many years every child can be conducted as far to be able to understand even Beethoven's music.
Yes. We know that you have written, and under your guidance, books have been written for each grade of the school instruction.
Yes, now I am surprised to find that this general interest for that in foreign countries, because my mind was nothing else as to improve in Hungary the situation. So it was made expressly for Hungarian surroundings, and if the system would be adopted in foreign countries, each country must add his own special motivic and musical background,
Yes.
which can anyway combine it with it. The chief thing is a very slow but consequent progress,
Yes.
beginning with the most simple features, and surprisingly quickly they arrive to a 2 or 3 part singing, children, because a feeling of harmony is developed very quickly if somebody takes the trouble to deal with. The chief hindrance is that the general schools give too few time for that.
Too little time, yes. What is your idea? How much time the school should spend with music instruction in the general curriculum?
Since the school had to develop homogeneous and balanced men and not specialists, I mean not that a special music teaching should be introduced in general schools, but as many as a complete man needs. A complete man without music does not exist. For me, a man without music is incomplete.
Yes.
So we introduced, just with a hard fight with the pedagogic administration, in about 100 schools, a daily singing lesson. It means not a whole hour, 50 minutes or so, but a little music every day. That is important for the child, as well as he had to eat every day, because you cannot nourish well a child if you give him only once a week something to eat. So also music must be eaten every day a little bit.
Yes. And is this everyday portion of an allotted time, or does this portion of time remain the same in higher grades, or it's going to be longer and more? Let's say in the first grade, if the child receives every day.
Every day, 20, 30 minutes.
And how would that work in the second, third, fourth grade, in successive grades?
Later, with the growing child, it can be a little longer, a regular 40 or 50-minute lesson, and then choral rehearsals, because grown-up children from 10th year on are singing in chorus, and
yes,
and with that they learn many good literature from older time and newer time. And I would emphasize that it's not meant to make from them professional musicians, just to complete men. The professional teaching must be in the beginning exactly the same, because no professional musician can be built from nothing. He must have also he must sing before, because so many great pianists declared that nobody should play piano if she cannot sing. There is even one, the famous rival of Liszt. He wrote that he taught 5 years with an Italian singing teacher. The professional music begins chiefly with instrument playing. Now in those schools, instruments are not obligatory, but after 8 or 9 years, most children want it to play. And then in a few years, it will be seen which one would be able to be a professional musician, because this manual ability are very different, and the professional musician should go out from the same background.
This is a very important point, that music should be a part of the general education.
Yes.
And regardless of someone who might be later on developing into a professional musician, every child should receive the same kind of basic education in music.
That is.